Up in Poolsville, there's this guy who has built a hockey rink in his backyard. I mean, he's in an agricultural reserve area, so he's got some room around him, and he built a hockey rink, and he did it in memory of his late daughter, and people in Poolsville have been going there on this synthetic rink, and they've been playing hockey, and you know what? Apparently it really bothers the people in Montgomery County, because Montgomery County government has come down on him like a ton of bricks. I think this is wrong. Larry thinks this is wrong, and so today we are very pleased to have that gentleman in studio. His name is Marc Kohn, Marc, you first of all, I think people need to understand one thing. By the way, if you want to talk and have a question for Marc, 888-630-9625, 1-888-630-WMAL. Marc, I want people to understand why you did this.
Well, I did it because we were a hockey family. We grew up as a hockey family, starting with my dad back in a small town in Boston. We would have pizza and puck nights, watch the Bruins, watch Bobby Orr and Phil Esposito and Jerry Cheevers of the great Bruins teams. And I grew up with enjoying hockey and playing hockey on the ponds and on the backyard rinks in the small town called Bedford. So when I got married and had a family, I kept the same tradition going. We would have pizza and puck nights and watch the Capitals. Back when, Langway came in and everything started to really turn for the franchise. And then my daughter Melanie, she's actually my stepdaughter, and people bring this up. Well, it's your stepdaughter. Well, you know what? She wanted me to call her daughter, because that's the kind of relationship that we developed. And so my daughter, she just fell in love with the game, and she so much so that as a teenager, if somebody would call her and say, "Hey, let's do a sleepover tonight,"
you say, "Can't. There's a soccer game. Are you crazy? I'm not going to miss that." Right.
Right. It's like, I can't sleep over tonight. It's pizza and puck night. We got to watch the Caps.
Love that.
Okay, so big hockey family, and then she ended up passing away of a respiratory disease this past summer, unfortunately. And I figured, you know what, a great way to kind of remember her, and as a way to get through the grief of it was to build a rink. And I built the entire rink myself. It's about 2.5 months of building.
Yeah, and it cost you about $40,000, we're told.
Yeah, the ice panels are very expensive, anywhere from $300 to $400 a panel. And there's about 70 panels out there.
Right.
And how big is your lot out there in Poolsville? It's like at least 25 acres, right?
It's about 49 acres.
49 acres. And how big is the rink?
Acres around.
Well, so the rink is about 2,000 square feet.
Okay. So that's like a little pimple on the
maybe 1% of the
behind
land
of your property.
Right.
And my understanding, and you correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding is the beef with Montgomery County really began not because of the rink itself, but because you opened up the rink to other people. You said, "Please come, celebrate my daughter's memory." She would have wanted everyone to come over and play, so you just invited people for free to come and skate. Is that really the crux of this? It's because there were people there.
Right. It's because I didn't do it in a private manner. I made a mistake by putting up a Facebook page that then became public. And the reason I did that is because once people found out about it, I didn't realize, but Poolsville is really a hotbed of hockey. Not so much playing it, but they love the Caps up there.
Sure.
Some of the kids played. So as the hockey players found out about the rink, they came out and skated. They told friends at school, "Man, I'm playing at this rink. It's right down the street. It's great." The non-hockey players came out, and they were just on the rink with their shoes because they just wanted to play. And it snowballed. And all of a sudden, people were saying, "Can I come out? Can I come out? Can I come out?"
Yeah.
And I just said, "Well, okay, let me put a Facebook page." And it was winter break.
Yeah.
Everybody was off school, so everyone came out.
It's like having the greatest backyard in the neighborhood. All the kids want to come over and play in that backyard. Our guest is Marc Kohn, and he's the guy who is under fire with the Montgomery County government right now. And despite your misguided early days supporting the Bruins, you've obviously righted your ways. You like the Capitals now. And I got to ask you, if you build something like this in most cities, you got to pull a permit for it. Was there a permit pulled, and was it needed to be pulled? And is that their beef with you? The fact that there was a permit issue here?
No, there actually wasn't a permit issue because the way it was built purposely as a non-permanent structure, so it can actually be picked up and moved. I built it on 200 individual pallets that I had to reinforce individually, put down, and then put the ice on top of that.
So it's like putting a tool shed back there. If it's not a permanent structure, you don't have to permit it.
Exactly. It can be picked up in about 3 hours.
Now, Montgomery County has told you in meetings on Monday, they said what?
They They said, well, let me just tell you just a quick aside about what happened. I expected.
Can I just say, your demeanor, we mentioned Montgomery County government, and you're like, let me tell you something about Montgomery County government.
Well,
your whole demeanor changed.
Well, I'm not a confrontational person by nature, but I am a hockey player. And so I do have a rough side if I get agitated.
You drop the gloves when necessary, yes.
That's right. So I figured it would be me and the director just sitting down chatting. First meeting, let's see what's going on. And that wasn't the case. It was me paraded into a room, a large room, big table. I was told where to sit, and then she looks at me and goes, "I'm going to sit directly across from you so I can stare into your eyes." And that's a direct quote from her.
Wow.
And then I sat down, and all of a sudden 10 more people came into the room to surround me. Everybody an expert in, this guy was an expert in septic, and this guy was an expert in electrical, and this guy for food service.
So they were loaded for bear.
Yeah, I think they wanted to intimidate me and say, you know what, you're not fighting the battle here. We're stronger.
No, at the end of the day, as I understand it, the arrangement that was left with you was that you can keep it, but it just can't be a public facility. Is that right?
Yes and no. Okay. There are so many gray areas in this agricultural reserve area that every time something comes up, it conflicts with something else. So, okay, yeah, you can have a private rink, but you can't. I can't have have the 10. Let's say I wanted to have. Melanie was a big supporter. She was a nurse. She was a big supporter of the Wounded Warriors because in her travels she took care of some of these Wounded Warriors. Right. I wanted to invite the U.S. Warriors, they're a hockey team, USA Warriors, to come out and have a practice. Let's say every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock.
Can't do that.
10 players come out. Nope, that's a violation. But I can go out to a home that I used to in Potomac every Monday night and watch Monday Night Football with 30 buddies, and we all park in the neighborhood and take over.
Yeah, right.
Okay? But I can't have a set...
So here's my question, though. He says you can't have a public space, but there's nothing wrong with you having friends over to the house, right?
I can have.
How do they determine who's a friend and who's not a friend? Who's going to stand out there, and are they going to query these people?
I don't know.
Well, knowing Montgomery County, I think you have to apply for a friendship license, and you got to pay an application fee for that, and then there'll be. All right, well, we got more questions for you.
That's
Marc
right.
Kohn.
Hey, good morning, guys. Mark, old pal, do what I did. Move out of there. I grew up in Dickerson. I went to Foolsville High School. We had a huge farm because I'm the youngest of 18 kids, and we had a baseball field, football field, and a basketball court on our property. Nobody ever did anything about it. We had a great time. People came from Poolsville, Gaithersburg, everywhere and played. I don't know when this crap started, but do what I did. Move out of there. I'm up in Frederick County now. We don't have those problems. In 2 years from here, I'm moving to South Carolina. I'm sick of this state.
All right, Mike, thanks for calling in, man. Well, what do you say to that? I mean, you just moved to Poolsville, right? Did you have any idea that this was going to be an issue?
To be honest, I had no idea. And let me just say, my intention of the rink was not to go public. It was for me to get back in shape, get back into hockey. I had gotten back into it a couple years ago and started coaching again. And I want to train for the Senior Olympics. They have tournaments at Lake Placid every year. Now that I'm in my 50s, I can do those tournaments. So it was for me and some hockey buddies to come around and do it. The fact that the kids embraced this in the town and kind of went nuts over it, and I swear, some have been there every day to skate, and they've never played any other sport.
So those are your friends, if they're there every day.
They're my friends now.
They're your friends,
yes.
Right? So you can have friends over. I keep telling you, this is the issue is
so you found the loophole.
The people who come to your house are your friends. They cannot prevent you from having your friends over.
Why would you have strangers at your house?
That's right.
Yeah. But the issue was that if you have more than 5 friends per day over, that goes now into a commercial zoning.
Oh, my God.
Are you kidding me?
That's what I was
told. So
told.
the Montgomery County government says that if you have more than 5 friends over every day to your house, you have to pull a commercial permit
come on,
for food and for bathrooms.
You need to fix this. This is ridiculous.
For everyone who called in yesterday, we talked about this, and we had people calling in and say, well, he should have asked permission. No! You don't have to ask permission to have friends over at your house. I'm sorry. This is still America. You've got to fix your way of thinking.
The right to associate.
The government has to ask permission to take our rights away from us. We don't have to ask the government for permission to have a right. What you say they're coming over all the time. There's some kids that are there every day. What's their reaction now? They must be really upset.
They are. As a matter of fact, I just got a text from a lady whose kid had never played hockey before and now wants to really come out every day and is very concerned because she talks to her kids about what's going on. And here was her note. She writes to me, one of the things my kids asked after school today was if Mel's Rink was really going to be shut down. I told them Marc is trying real hard to keep it open and isn't giving up. My oldest kid smiled and said, I knew Marc wouldn't give up. They said some adults might give up, but I knew Marc wouldn't give up. Thank you, Marc, for helping teach our children yet another important lesson. When you believe in something, you keep trying to make it work. And a message like that.
This has now become your cause.
Yeah.
This has become your cause.
And let me just say, not only that, but there are so many divergent paths of things going on in that ag reserve that don't make sense that I'm just finding out about. Like, there is a farm about 3 miles away that every weekend...
I know.
You know about that?
The soccer thing, right?
Every weekend. Well, you know what? I was at the local watering hole last night watching the Caps and Bruins game, and somebody came up to me and said, you know what? You're Marc Kohn, aren't you? You're with the rink. I said, yeah. We started talking. The reason that Muldoon's is allowed to have the soccer is because they make enough money. They're allowed to have, apparently, 5 events a year. They have over 30 because they just pay the fine. And the county lets it go.
Oh, my God. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because they actually charge the schools to come and play soccer. We're talking about a soccer field, and Brian's familiar with this.
Yeah, I've been out there.
Because he's part of Montgomery County Soccer Nation.
Yeah.
Jill in Fairfax has an interesting idea for you.
She's got an interesting idea.
You're on WMAL. Jill, what's your advice?
Good morning, Jill.
Good morning. I just feel that a lot of people are under attack, and maybe if you just play everyone else's game, make it a religious issue. Why don't you guys go out there and say a prayer for your daughter? And maybe go about that way. See if they can go after you that way.
Bible study hockey rink.
You can't you can't actually. They actually brought that up. You can't turn your house or anything on your property into any kind of a church.
But you can have friends over to pray with you. You can have friends over to talk about the Bible, but not more than 5.
But you can't have it on a consistent basis is the problem. You could do it once in a while.
All right, we're more with Marc Kohn, and this is a great insight, everyone, into the tyrannical government that's right here in our backyard in Montgomery County. Yes, that's right. It is tyrannical because they're telling you how many friends you can have over. We fought a revolution about things like this. It's 7:23.
Check out Innovation Health Leap Silver Plan. You can't beat the price. Go to ihcares.com or call 1-855-425-8721 today. Health
Panel forecast.
Good roll here of dry weather as high pressure slides east will get milder. Just a slight chance of a rain shower by tomorrow. Clear through the morning, sunny this afternoon, 42. Chance of showers tomorrow, 44. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick from the Weather Channel on WMAL.
Still cold out there, 22 degrees. It is 7:26 on WMAL.
Yes, you are Ike Leggett and the Montgomery County government. Russ in Round Hill, who's a very loyal listener, wants to know if he can start a legal fund for you. Well, funny you should ask, Russ. Go to GoFundMe.com. You can Google Save Mel's Rink, and there is a GoFundMe account. So thank you, Russ, for that. And Dan in Poolesville, you're next up on WMAL. You're out there in Poolesville. Have you skated there, Dan?
Not only have I skated there, but my 9-year-old and my 6-year-old, who's never been on skates, has now been on skates, had his hockey helmet on, and played out there.
There's nothing like it, right, Dan?
There is nothing like it, and in reality, there is nothing like what Marc Kohn has done for the town, for the kids in this town. My son last night saw him on Fox 5 News, and afterwards, he literally looked at me and said, he's going to lose the rink, isn't he? And I said, he's going to do everything he can not to lose the rink, and we're going to do everything we can to support the man.
That's right.
To make sure he doesn't lose the rink. And he had this look on his face, and he looked like he was ready to cry, and this is what people in this county government are trying to do, is make a bunch of kids cry because of the fact that Mark, fine, maybe he broke a rule, but at the end of the day, we try to teach our kids that it's not everything's black and white, but there is gray. And Mark's done a great job of teaching our kids a lot of that and what it means to give. Maybe this county needs to learn what it means to give for once.
Thank you for that, Dan. That's so well said. Yeah. And I can only say, you know, I just taught my kids how to skate for the first time over the winter vacation, Christmas vacation. It really was a great moment. I'd love to come out. And if you need some support out there, I'll go skate. Do you skate, Brian?
I have skated.
You're Texan. You don't skate
I'm not
down
a great
there.
skater, but I have skated.
Cowboy boot skates.
There you go.
All right, we're behind you, Mark Kohn.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you very much.
It's 7:28.